When it comes to classic titles, of which I have now platinumed quite a few, I will always have a soft spot for the early LEGO games. I grew up on the original LEGO Star Wars on PS2, managing to 100% it several times when I was much younger. LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, pretty much improves on the original game in virtually every way. It has more characters, more levels, and it introduces many of the collectibles that would soon become a mainstay in the series. Gold bricks, power bricks, aka red bricks, stud multipliers, character customization, even the million stud bonus levels, they all made their first appearance in this game. So when LEGO Star Wars 2 randomly got trophies patched in many months after the release, it was a must-do kind of platinum, and it means a lot more to me than y'all probably think. I don't lie to you guys, that title is not clickbait, whatever it ended up being. Stay tuned to the end and I'll explain that further. LEGO Star Wars 2 has a PS4 and PS5 version, each of which comes with 30 total trophies. The Platinum is a 2 to 3 out of 10 in difficulty, as the rewind feature will remove a lot of the challenge, but there can be a handful of tricky parts as well as some very grindy ones. Also, for my Xbox 360 viewers out there, the trophy list is vastly different from the achievement list y'all got all those years ago, and it's significantly easier than your achievement list. We begin with an absolute classic, with the first level being a recreation of the earliest scenes of Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. We put on a nice top hat, then go about collecting studs, which is a form of currency in LEGO games. You'll need to collect enough studs in each level to fill the true Jedi stud meter. This happened. Isn't there stormtroopers in a hot tub here? Do we get stormtroopers in a hot tub here, or is that later? Stormtroopers in a hot tub! Let me in, boys! I want to get naked in a hot tub with 2 other men! Wait. Ha! Gay! They killed me for that, so the Empire is officially anti-LGBT, I guess. And then we complete the first level, earning a trophy for reaching true Jedi in story mode. Sound like a 15-year-old, but who cares? Bro, I mean, if you look at my old stuff, hey, there's our first trophy! Story Jedi for full Jedi meter, true Jedi meter. The second level contains Jawas, who are quite obnoxious since they run around stunning your droids for honestly no good reason. Anyway, we clear the second level, and then we get an easy trophy for purchasing all of the hints in the game. A whole 5% of the way through. Let's buy all the hints and just knock out a quick trophy. They're all cheap. Yep. Easy peasy. Now we're off to the hive of scum and villainy, Mos Eisley. Also, I am curious to hear how many of y'all remember what double score zones are. I think they only existed in a few of these old games, starting with this one. We wash our land speeder, and we confirm that, in fact, Han was the one that shot first. We play the Stormtrooper skill crane, and then we are introduced to the disguise mechanic. You have to put on various disguises to get through some levels in story mode. I think this might have been the only LEGO game that did this, aside maybe from the complete saga, and it can occasionally get just a little bit frustrating. And before anyone asks, I'm not gay, I just wanted to try to make jokes and make people happy. It's the Stormtrooper Pool Party! Hey guys! Now it's 7 men naked in a hot tub. That's even better than 2 men naked in a hot tub. We become a stand-up kinda guy. Rescue the princess. I'm surprised there isn't an official window washing simulator yet that I know of. And we escape the Death Star with the plans. With the Empire hot on our heels, we launch an assault on the Death Star. Each movie has at least one vehicle mission, and they're far more open and interesting than the ones in the original game. In the final area of the level, we collect our first red brick for a trophy. Red bricks are basically cheats, and they don't actually disable any trophies when you use them. And got it. Power brick. I don't know which one it is, but we got one. I do remember that one being there, though. A few minutes later, we put the torpedo in the torpedo hole and complete Episode 4 for a trophy. He should be fine. He'll just float to the nearest star system after a few years in space. And he'll be okay. Putting the death in Death Star, Episode 4 cleared. Back at the cantina, I bought my first character for an easy trophy. Gonk, he's cheap. Why? Oh. Oh, okay. Easy trophy. Now we head off to our first challenge mode level. This was not a thing in the PS2 version of LEGO Star Wars 2, but it did exist in the PSP version as well as the complete saga, because of course, they ported the PSP version, not the PS2 version. Basically, you have to go through a level within a certain amount of time while collecting 10 blue mini-kits. Many of these are pretty easy to find, but a few of them are going to be pretty well hidden. With less than a minute to spare, we complete our first challenge mode level, earning a gold brick and a trophy. That's not awful. Don't think you need to complete the level. That's good then. Quick game of Find the Canisters. Earn a gold brick in challenge mode. Let's go. And then we complete the first stream with an easy trophy for customizing a character for the first time. Knock out another trophy by doing that. Now we're off to episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, which in my opinion is the greatest movie in the Star Wars franchise. The first mission contains the wonderfully janky tow cable and towing the bomb mechanics that was really only in this game and then the complete saga, I believe. The second mission involves escaping from Echo Base, but without Mark Hamill incestually kissing a family member. Now, you see this little dot here, right here? This little dot is going to give me some collectible traumatic stress disorder later in this playthrough. That aside, we escape Echo Base, and then we return to the Death Star attack in free play. In this mode, you can select whatever characters you want, allowing you to reach mini-kits and red bricks that were initially out of reach. But unlike most of the other LEGO games that came later, you can't save your progress and quit the level midway through. You actually have to play the whole thing. And you actually have to get True Jedi again, which is a really weird thing that they did for this game. Completing the level with all 10 mini-kits earns us a bonus of 50,000 studs and a trophy. If I could get one multiplier would be fine. I'm just not having the easiest time getting a multiplier. But that's a trophy. I then purchased my first extra toggle, which is basically your list of cheats and bonuses, for another trophy. I'm gonna buy extra toggle though. That gives us a trophy. And it gives us more characters. Back on episode 5, we successfully navigate an asteroid field against Don't Tell Me the Odds. Then we meet Jedi Master Yoda on one of my least favorite missions in the game, which is Dagobah. We fight the fake version of Darth Vader, raise the X-Wing from the swampy depths, and head off to Cloud City to rescue our friends. This level is a prolonged multi-phase fight against Vader, which ends with Mark Hamill meeting his daddy.
I am your father.
No. It's not true. That's impossible!
The final mission of episode 5 involves Lando and Leia leading the group to escape Cloud City, after which we obtain a trophy for finishing the second movie. I wonder, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it actually was longer than I remember it being. Alright, episode 5 done. I then decided to tackle my first character bonus mission. You basically have a short amount of time to collect 1,000,000 studs in a confined area, using whatever characters you have unlocked. Bounty hunters are highly recommended. Completing one of these for the first time will net you a trophy. High-speed shootout. Let's go. The mini-kit bonus is basically the exact same thing, but you have to use vehicles this time to get your 1,000,000 studs. Completing one of those for the first time also pops a trophy. Name is Mark Hamill, Bell, missing third leg. I then spent some time cleaning up free play and challenge mode, along with episode 5's character and mini-kit bonuses, and then decided to tackle my first true bonus level. This is another change from the PS2 version. That version had something called bounty hunter missions, where you had to find a specific target in the level in a certain amount of time. The PSP version has ports of the original 3 boss fights from the first LEGO Star Wars game. Each of the 3 contains a trophy. Now, strangely, you can collect studs and reach True Jedi on these levels, but there's no mini-kits, and the trophies are unlocked just by finishing the level in story mode for whatever reason. Trophy! Awesome. Now, there's also a trophy for getting True Jedi on a free play level, since for some reason this game requires you to do True Jedi on both story and free play, and I accidentally got this trophy off screen, so here's that one popping. Next up is Episode 6, which begins with us attempting to rescue Han from Jabba's palace. Though successful, we are thrown into a Rancor pit. Killing it makes Jabba at least 12% unhappy, so he condemns us to be eaten to death by the Sarlacc, but we do manage to escape. We get through this mission without too much difficulty, and then we head off to Endor to shut down a shield generator. This is partially a vehicle mission, and it leads to hijacking an AT-AT for all of 1 minute. The fourth mission of this movie is another really long one that involves Han, Leia, and the Ewoks as they attempt to destroy the shield generator. Despite the length of the mission, the plans are successful, and then a redeemed Vader joins Luke in the fight against the Emperor. Fun fact, according to my parents, when I was a young child, I actually cried the first time I saw Vader die in this movie. We launch the final assault on the second Death Star, escape at the last second, and pop the Episode 6 story trophy. You should try to beat this level in the view. Oh, there we go, trophy! Let's go! Now it's time to really get started on the cleanup. We have to collect all 180 mini-kits, fill all 36 True Jedi stud meters, finish all 18 challenge mode levels, and grab all 99 gold bricks. Now, surprisingly, finding all 18 red bricks, and with it getting the game's true 100% completion, actually isn't required for any trophies, which is kinda weird. By the end of the third stream, we're close to 50% game completion, and most of Episode 4 is done. I spent some time before the next stream farming studs, allowing me to quickly pop the trophy for having 2 million studs at a time, but more importantly than that, oh, there it is, Bowl of Studs! Not a lot happens during the first 2/3 of this stream, as it's mostly just like doing cleanup and stuff like that. Then we get off to our first super story, as all 3 of them need to be completed for gold bricks. In Super Story, you have to play through all 6 levels of a movie back to back to back in story mode, which means no skipping cutscenes. Additionally, you have to collect at least 100,000 studs, which is usually pretty easy, but you also have to get through in under an hour. These are arguably the most daunting challenges of the playthrough. The best strategy is usually just to sprint through each level as fast as possible while only focusing on the main objectives. Thankfully, Episode 4's Super Story is pretty forgiving on the time mode, plus you can get the 100,000 studs in the very first level of it, so it's a pretty solid introduction to this game mode. Ultimately, we complete Episode 4's Super Story in under 45 minutes with no major issues, earning us 2 more trophies. Like I said, I think he has some kind of like really cool, unique, rare ability that you can trigger. Marathon Speedrunner, let's go! We're gonna get 2 trophies here. Let's go! Alright, we finished well ahead of where we needed to, so that wasn't a problem at all. I didn't think that was going to be a problem. A few minutes later, we fill the True Jedi meter in the Death Star escape to grab the final gold brick of Episode 4 for another trophy. No! There it is! That is every gold brick for Episode 4. The 5th stream is once again a whole bunch of cleanup, mostly from Episode 5 this time. That being said, I legitimately spent over 20 minutes trying to find the last mini-kit in the Hoth escape level. I'm honestly not sure if I just misunderstood people's instructions, or if chat was just screwing with me. I is so good at video games. So where you need to be a rock? Yeah, either that or we're just missing something somewhere. Is the only other possibility, but it's right there? I didn't even see that there before, but I am so confused because I did not see that in here before. By the end of this stream, I've reached 70 gold bricks. I think around this time you actually start getting 100,000 studs per gold brick, or it might be when you hit 60. And we finish off the stream with the trophy for purchasing all of the purchasable vehicles in the game, of which there's only like 5. Well, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Well, no, those are only like 100,000. That's a trophy. Yep, Forceful Charm. Trophy, 77.4%. The sixth stream is another cleanup and collectible stream. However, I did decide to try Episode 5's Super Story. It is definitely a little bit tougher than Episode 4, at least on the time aspect of it. Even so, I still cleared it first try with over 9 minutes to spare, so I guess it wasn't that bad. Shortly after, I cleared the Count Dooku bonus mission for yet another trophy. Then again, I stuck it out with Adam for 3 years, so yeah. Not the arm! By the end of this stream, we were at 78 gold bricks out of the 99 required, and over 80% in-game completion. You guessed it, the 7th stream was yet another round of collectible cleanup. Unfortunately, this stream suffered from a lot of problems. For some reason, most of the time if I manage to get like a high view count on my stream, it basically just gets nuked. I don't know if it's just YouTube screwing over a small creator or if it's my equipment. I know for a fact it's not my internet. I have tested that on every stream where this breaks and it's not the internet. I guess we'll see what happens when I eventually get a new computer and possibly like a newer capture card or something, or just stream through OBS or something, I don't know yet. Despite the issues, I did manage to reach 6 million studs at one time for a trophy, which also allowed me to purchase the second stud multiplier. Like, I'm about to get only my second multiplier. Trophy! Bucket of studs. That's my first trophy of the night. Shortly after this, we purchase our first ghost character for another easy, yet expensive trophy. Anakin's the cheapest one, and that gets me a trophy. Awesome! So now we're off to Episode 6's Super Story. This is by far the hardest one due to the long length of several of the levels. Now, I actually never beat this as a kid, though that was actually more because my disc always stopped working at the same place during the Battle of Endor. The time limit is definitely tight, though the 100k stud still isn't really all that bad. But despite some struggles in, of all things, the final attack on the Death Star 2, I actually completed the Super Story with a solid 7 minutes to spare. So with that, we grabbed the trophy for all the gold bricks in Episode 6, so that went a lot better than I expected. Alright. Let's see our credits here if we get them. And let's get our trophy. Golden Return. The 8th and final stream begins with obtaining the final few gold bricks in Episode 5, which nets us the last gold brick trophy. And we should begin the trophy here. Golden Empire. Obviously not the last trophy, but important. Upon collecting all 99 gold bricks, you'll be able to build a fountain outside the cantina, which provides you with infinite studs. It's really the only realistic way to get enough studs to buy everything and then get to that 4 billion stud trophy that we have to do later. As we spend a bit of time farming studs, I'd like to circle back to the title of this video, whatever that ended up being. I promised it wasn't a lie. When this trophy list dropped, I was in kind of a really bad place. I mean, yeah, I was away from Adam, I was away from that horrific old job, I was in a new job, or just started a new job with better people and better pay. But I've honestly struggled for a while now with what I really want to do in life. I work in the field of clinical research, and it honestly sucks more ass than you could imagine. I've talked about the enormous levels of corruption and immorality many times, along with how I was screwed over multiple times with like every job I've taken in this field, but it's really all I know at this point. Like, if I wanted to start over, it would require probably learning an entirely new skill. A lot of difficulties really hit me around the same time related to work, the ideas of relationships, life in general. I mean, sure, I could quit and try to find something else, but then I can't get a girlfriend because I'm not making 6 figures, or anything for that matter. So, honestly, when this trophy list dropped, I was in a really dark place. I was really depressed, really anxious. I was pretty much relying on my Xanax to get through the day alongside a couple other meds, when that's only supposed to really be like a as-needed basis. And I admittedly thought and said things, though not on stream, that probably scared the hell out of those that were close to me, like my parents. But then this trophy list dropped out of absolutely nowhere. Sure, I mean, if it had released a week earlier, I probably would have gone for first or fastest achiever, but this release was honestly nothing but positivity. I had so much fun playing this game and going for all the trophies and interacting with you guys. Not only that, but the streams were actually very well viewed in comparison to a lot of my streams in the modern day, so it was definitely a nice little boost for the channel. And no, YouTube is never going to be a full-time career for me, I'm not intending for it ever to be, but it was still nice to get that up in viewership. Needless to say, this trophy hunt really got me through one of the worst parts in my life recently. Yes, there are still some struggles going on, but things have improved at least a little bit, and I have to hope the worst is over. So, in all honesty, I can't thank you guys enough for all the support and compassion and all the friendship over these last few years, especially during these last few months with all these struggles. It means a lot more than a lot of you probably ever thought. YouTube and gaming have really gotten me through a lot of really bad periods in my life. If you go all the way back to my junior year of high school, where I was first dealing with depression and anxiety for the first time, YouTube and just playing video games have gotten me through a lot of these really bad times, so you guys don't know how much it means to have all the support that I have from you guys. Y'all really are a great group of people, a great group of friends and supporters, and I hope to continue being able to make content forever, pretty much, or for a very long time. After about half an hour, we managed to purchase every character in the game, which gets us a trophy. Is that all of them? That's all the characters. All characters have been purchased. All hints have been purchased. With all the multipliers and over 1 billion studs in the bank, I decided to head off to the LEGO City bonus level. Basically, your goal is to get 1 million studs by destroying this giant LEGO city. You basically need to destroy everything, ride the vehicles, use the force on the windows, and a few other things. And after about 15 minutes, we complete the level to grab the trophy. And we did it! So there's slightly more than enough. So there's very slightly more than enough. Awesome! In a galaxy nearby! After another 10 minutes of standing in the stud fountain, we grabbed the trophy for 4 billion studs, which is apparently the cap for studs in this game, which might have been the cap in a few of the other games as well. Yep, that's what it is. So, the stud counter in this game actually maxes out at 4 billion, which is insane. And now all that's left is finishing the Darth Vader bonus level. Not gonna lie, this level's pretty badass. Interestingly, you can actually play the final battle sequence with either character, and you actually get slightly different cutscenes depending on who you choose, which is really a cool little detail. Regardless of who you pick, we complete the level and obtain the Platinum Trophy. It looks almost the same, I believe, and I think this platform collapses eventually. So basically you get slightly extra cutscene if you play as Anakin, which is really cool. And there's our Platinum! End of the beginning. Our last character, may the Force brick with you. Well, that was an amazing experience. I am not gonna lie, that is one of the funnest Platinums I've gone for in a while. Damn, that really was something. This was one of my favorite Platinums in recent memory. Like I said, this one meant a lot more to me than y'all would probably have ever expected. And from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say again, thank you. Thank all of you. I love the support you've given me. I love the community we've been able to build, even if it is a smaller channel and a smaller community overall. I've made, hopefully, lifelong friends through here, made great connections, had great interactions on the streams, and in, not necessarily real life, but, you know, playing games on PS5 and such. And really, that's it for now. I've said pretty much everything I wanted or needed to say. So, yeah, thank y'all for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, please give this video a like, subscribe, and ring the bell if you haven't done so already. Let me know in the comments if any game has ever been any sort of, like, massive level of importance to you. I know this video was a little bit out of order since I have several older Platinums and 100% that still need to be uploaded. I know it was a little bit heavier on sort of the emotional side and real life side, but I just wanted to go ahead and get this one out so I could just share everything. Thanks again, and I'll see y'all back here real soon for the next video, which will most likely be Astro's Playroom.